And moving on, supply chain fintech VoloFin has secured $50 million in funding from a top US-based bank, which plans to increase this funding limit to $150 million over the next 2 to 3 years. With the latest funding, the company plans to provide Indian exporters with better access to trade finance and offer SMEs lending solutions. For more on this, let me welcome Roshan Shah, the co-founder and CEO of VoloFin. Also on the show with me is my colleague Ritu. Roshan, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. First up, how does this $50 million funding align with VoloFin's long-term vision? And how will you deploy this? What specific gaps in trade finance for SMEs are you aiming to address with this infusion?
Thank you for having me here, first of all. And in terms of what we plan to do with this 50 million, this is like, what we are in the business of lending. So we are a fintech, which is in cross-border trade finance. And we are largely focused on the exporters, where the Indian exporters selling to buyers across the globe, we coming in and financing their receivables. So our focus for this 50 million, it's for the medium term, we utilize this in terms of supporting the exporters and bringing in a lot more in terms of the facility and the funding amount further to boost the exports from India.
Well, Roshan, with plans to scale operations globally as well as in India, can you tell us what are the key markets or regions that you're looking to prioritize?
So we are physically present in 3 markets where we have people and offices on the ground. So that is with Singapore, US and India, with India being the largest for us as a market. So we'll continue to expand and make our strong footholds into these 3 geographies first, before we go into further more geographies in Asia.
Right. With the target of increasing the funding line to about $150 million over the next 2 to 3 years, what milestones or partnerships do you foresee as critical to achieving this goal?
So one thing which is very unique in terms of what we are doing as a supply chain and factoring platform, we are not only supporting the SMEs, but we are also creating an ecosystem for banks to come in and participate. Because this is one product, what we are doing, where banks are also keen. And with the agility and the swiftness of a fintech, it becomes a very strong ecosystem for banks also to partner with us. So we see banks as a partnership rather than a competition. And that also speaks in terms of what we have got with this US bank. Plus, we have got also into a very unique partnership with India Exim Bank last month, which was there in the news, and that is from Gift City and the first of its kind partnership. And as we speak, there'll be more banks joining in, which would be Indian as well as multinational banks, where this scale would be much more in terms of what we are anticipating for this 150. This could possibly grow to 250 to 300 in the next 4 years as well.
Well, Roshan, I was wondering if you'd want to name who this US bank is, but also SMEs, of course, we know do face challenges in accessing flexible financing solutions. If you could tell us, how you're ensuring, the benefit of your technology and innovations benefits this underserved segment.
So, of course, as much as I would have liked to disclose the name, we are bound by the non-disclosure for this. So cannot name, but I can tell you this is one of the top 5 global banks headquartered in the US, where we have gotten this, and I'm sure at some point in time we'll be able to put the name to it. And in terms of what we are doing, we are bringing in a lot more efficiencies to these SMEs. Today, when they are cash starved, and with India as a growing market, at the macro level, we are boosting exports from India, we are boosting Make in India. And at the micro level, when we talk about the exporters or the SMEs per se, we are bringing in agility to their financing, which is much faster than what they expect from a bank. We are doing collateral free. It is coming in a very quick click of a button. Plus, it is also having them a tech-based enabling all their finances at one place. So it's a large and high level of efficiency coming in at both macro and micro level.
Right. And Roshan, if you could quickly, we're running out of time in 30 seconds, tell us, the fintech space is becoming increasingly competitive, right? So how does VoloFin differentiate itself from other players in factoring and supply chain financing? And how will this partnership with the top global banks strengthen your position?
So while from the outside, it may look like a very crowded market, but the space that we are in, there is only a handful of players which are effectively doing what we are. Plus, we are in a very unique space because we are the only platform where we are bringing in as a multi-lender platform and banks coming in and joining us and joining the forces to bring this, much larger and much required support to the SMEs.
Sure. Well, Roshan, thanks very much. We're going to have to leave it at that. Thanks for your time here on CNBC TV 18.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, we're going to take a short